Welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive. Today, we are exploring,
Weather whisperers.
yeah, weather whispers, individuals who can influence the weather with their emotions. And we're going to be looking
A
at,
fictional story.
yeah, a fictional story. It's called The Weather Whisperers.
Very appropriate.
Yeah, and we're going to be unpacking I think, some seriously thought-provoking ideas.
About the connection between humans and nature.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, it's a premise that immediately sparks curiosity.
Yeah.
What if our
Right.
inner world could shape the outer world?
Absolutely. And this story dives into this concept through the lens of meteorology, which I find,
Very cool.
yeah,
There we go.
so cool. So we're introduced to Sage and Kieran, who are both meteorologists
At the same station.
on the same station, Channel 8.
Channel 8.
And they're both very passionate about weather, but their personalities are so different.
Like a sunny day and a stormy night,
Yeah, Sage is fiery and intuitive.
and Kieran is calm and analytical.
Yeah.
And get that
They both
they both have this unique ability to
influence the weather.
influence the weather.
Yeah. But they don't know about each other's powers.
At first.
At first.
Yeah.
And their first encounter is really symbolic. It's described as a really still day almost. Like the atmosphere itself is holding its breath.
Right.
And the moment they shake hands, a breeze kicks up and sunlight breaks through the clouds.
It's like their connection triggered a mini weather event.
Yeah, just right there in the office.
Right in the office.
That's like a meet cute.
It is a meet cute.
Yeah, but it raises a big question.
The big question.
Is their power conscious or subconscious?
Right.
Do they have to focus their emotions, or is it just purely instinctive?
Well, that's what's so fascinating about this story, is that it explores that very question.
Okay.
Initially, their influence seems to be mostly subconscious,
Okay.
a reaction to their immediate emotions.
Yeah.
There's one scene where Sage gets frustrated with Kieran's weather predictions.
Uh-huh.
And what happens?
Yeah.
The horizon just darkens with clouds.
Wow.
But then later, when they share a laugh
Yeah.
during a coffee break,
Mm-hmm.
the clouds part, and it's a bright blue sky.
Oh, wow. So it's like their emotions are directly imprinted onto the atmosphere,
Yeah.
but without them even knowing it or directing it.
Right.
So then what happens when they become aware of their abilities?
But that's when the story gets really interesting.
Okay.
They start noticing that their emotions, especially when they're around each other,
Okay.
have a more pronounced effect on the local weather patterns in their town, Millbrook.
Oh.
And this realization leads to a sort of unspoken rivalry,
Oh, fun.
a series of weather duels where they try to outdo each other
Oh, my God.
with
Yeah.
impressive displays of atmospheric manipulation.
Okay, I have to admit, the idea of these weather duels is just plain cool.
It's very cool.
So, for example, during the town spring festival,
Huh?
Sage is determined to create the perfect weather.
Yeah.
She's pouring all of her joy and enthusiasm into the atmosphere. And wouldn't you know, the day turns out to be this picture-perfect spring day.
It does.
Golden sunshine, gentle breezes.
But Kieran's not one to be outdone.
Oh, really?
During the next week's farmer's market,
Okay.
he creates these incredible luminous clouds
Oh, wow.
that just dance across the sky. It's really showcasing his creativity and mastery
Yeah.
over the elements.
Now, that is really interesting from a meteorological perspective. It just makes me think what atmospheric conditions
Right.
would be needed to create such a spectacle.
You would have to have some unique combination of humidity and air currents and light refraction.
Yeah.
Really cool stuff.
While they're focused on this friendly competition,
Yeah.
the townspeople are completely oblivious
I have no idea.
to the source of this remarkable weather.
Right.
They're just enjoying the gorgeous days.
Right.
They're commenting on the beautiful skies,
Right.
spending more time outdoors. It's almost as if their weather whispering is having this ripple effect
Yeah.
on the entire community.
It's a subtle but really important point. Their actions,
Right.
even though they're driven by personal motives,
Yeah.
have these unintended positive consequences.
Yeah.
And it really gets you thinking about the ethical implications of wielding such power.
Yeah, for sure.
Like if they can create perfect weather, could they also be responsible for causing storms or droughts?
Right.
Do they have a responsibility to use their abilities for good?
Yeah, that's really interesting.
It's a big question.
Yeah, big question.
And that's the moral dilemma at the heart of the story.
Mm.
And it's interesting how the author uses these weather duels to explore different aspects of their powers.
Uh-huh.
Like take the episode where Sage weaves these silver threads into the morning mist.
Oh, yeah, that was such a beautiful scene. It felt so whimsical, almost like a fairy tale.
Exactly. It shows a level of finesse and artistry in her ability.
Yeah.
But then Kieran responds by infusing the sunlight with a particular warmth that transforms the dewdrops into sparkling like dew diamonds. It's as if he's saying, look, I can be just as subtle and magical.
I love how their rivalry pushes them to explore the full potential of their powers.
Right.
Like they're constantly challenging each other to create something even more spectacular.
Yeah.
But what really struck me was their unspoken collaboration during the sunset forecasts.
Ah, yes, the sunsets.
Every evening, the sky above Millbrook becomes this canvas where they paint these extraordinary colors, shades of rose gold,
Amberdeet.
purple burning orange.
Beautiful.
It's like they're having this artistic conversation through the atmosphere,
Right.
blending their individual styles to create something truly unique.
And the townspeople gather every night to watch this spectacle.
Yeah.
It becomes like this shared ritual, this moment of collective awe and wonder.
Right, and they have no idea
They have no idea that they're witnessing this incredible collaboration.
between these two weather whisperers.
Right, that they can feel the magic in the air.
It highlights the power of these shared experiences, how something as simple as watching a sunset
Yeah.
can bring people together.
And I think it speaks to that primal human connection that we all have to nature.
Totally.
Drawn to beauty. We're drawn to these awe-inspiring forces that shape our world.
Absolutely. But amidst all this beauty and wonder, there's also a sense of tension building.
Yeah.
Their rivalry, while mostly playful hints at the potential for conflict.
Right, because they are dealing with very powerful forces of nature.
Yeah, what if their emotions spiral out of control?
Right.
Could their powers become destructive?
That's the question lurking beneath the surface of their story.
Yeah.
And the author definitely doesn't shy away from exploring those potential consequences.
Uh-huh.
There's a pivotal moment that occurs during the autumn equinox.
Oh, okay.
They're both tracking a storm head's bent over radar images when their hands accidentally brush. And suddenly the storm clouds part and this magnificent double rainbow appears,
Wow.
arching over the town.
Mm.
It's this breathtaking symbol of their shared power,
Uh-huh.
but also this foreshadowing of what could happen when those powers collide. The symbolism of the double rainbow, I think, is really key here.
Yeah.
It represents balance, harmony, the potential for something greater when they work together.
Right.
It's almost like the universe itself is sending them a message.
Totally. And it seems like they get the message.
You do.
Sage even says, I think we might be better at this together. And
Yeah.
Kieran replies, I think we already are. Such warmth. It's like the turning point in their relationship. And
It's-
the moment they acknowledge like the power of collaboration.
And from that point on, there's a noticeable shift in Millbrook's weather patterns.
Okay.
It's no longer about these individual displays of power,
Yeah.
but about creating a harmonious balance.
Mm-hmm.
Sage's passion and impulsiveness are tempered by Kieran's steadiness and precision.
It's like their love story is being written across the sky.
It is.
Yeah, the weather becomes a reflection of their growing connection. Like
Yeah.
sunny days symbolizing their shared joy and gentle rains representing their moments of quiet intimacy.
It's a beautiful metaphor for the interconnectedness of all things.
Yeah.
Their personal growth and their influence on the natural world become intertwined,
Okay.
creating this feedback loop of positive energy.
Yeah.
And it seems like the townspeople sense this underlying magic, this unspoken pact between their weather whisperers and nature itself.
Yeah.
They may not understand the specifics,
Uh-huh.
but they definitely feel the benefits in the consistently pleasant weather and the thriving ecosystem.
It makes you wonder if we as humans have a greater impact on our surroundings than we realize.
That's a really interesting point.
Maybe our collective emotions, our hopes and fears do somehow influence the world around us, even on a subtle level.
That's the thought-provoking question that the story leaves us with.
Yeah.
Perhaps we all possess a bit of that weather whisperer within us, a connection to the natural world that we've lost touch with.
You know, it's fascinating how a fictional story can spark like such profound questions about our own world.
Right.
This deep dive into the weather whisperers has really made me think about,
The subtle connections between humans and nature.
it's a testament to the power of storytelling to explore complex scientific and philosophical ideas in a way that's so engaging.
Yeah, and it definitely challenges us to re-examine our assumptions.
About what's possible.
Exactly. So throughout this story, I kept coming back to this idea of balance.
Right.
The balance between Sage's like fiery nature and Kieran's calm demeanor.
Hmm.
The balance between their individual powers and their combined strength.
Right.
And ultimately the balance they create within the natural world.
Yeah, that's a great observation. The story really emphasizes the importance of balance not just in nature, but also within ourselves.
Yeah.
Their individual abilities are impressive, but they're ultimately limited until they learn to harmonize their energies.
Right.
It suggests that maybe our true potential lies in finding that inner equilibrium.
And perhaps that balance extends beyond our individual selves.
To encompass our relationship with the environment, maybe we need to find a way to harmonize our human needs with, like, the rhythms of the natural world.
It's a really crucial message, especially today. The Weather Whisperers offers a hopeful vision of what might be possible if we could just tap into that connection a little more consciously.
Right.
But it also serves as a cautionary tale, reminding us that, with great power
Comes great responsibility.
comes great responsibility. Exactly.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I'm left with one, like, lingering question
Okay.
for you, dear listener. If we accept, even just for a moment, the possibility that our emotions can influence the world around us,
Right?
how does that change how we approach our daily lives?
That's a great question.
Do we become more mindful of our thoughts and our feelings, knowing they might have, like, a ripple effect beyond ourselves?
That's a great question to ponder. And I think maybe the Weather Whisperers just serves as a gentle nudge to pay attention to the subtle connections between our inner world and the outer world. Maybe there's more magic at play than we realize, just waiting for us to tune in
I love that.
and discover it.
Yeah, such a good point. Well, thank you everyone for joining us on another deep dive. We'll see you next time.